Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany. I am a wife and a mother, and I'm also a little bit obsessed with all things makeup and skincare. So today I thought it would be kind of fun if we ranked all of the foundations that I currently have in my collection. So I have 11 foundations in total, and I definitely have some thoughts on them. So I thought it would be kind of fun to show you what I've got and show you like my favorites and what are just okay in my collection. So if you would like to see my foundation rankings, then go ahead and keep on watching. So before I actually start ranking my foundations, I wanted to do a little bit of a disclaimer. So these are just my opinions, my thoughts. If you have a foundation that you absolutely love and I put it like at the bottom of my ranking, that doesn't mean that I dislike the foundation fully or that you are not allowed to love that foundation. We all have definitely different preferences when it comes to foundations and pretty much everything in makeup. Like, I can tell you right now that most of you that are watching this would probably not want to wear bright blue on your eyes, but I do, and that's okay. We all have different preferences when it comes to makeup, and if mine is different than yours, then that is fine. Also, I recently decluttered a lot of my foundations, so the ones that I still have are ones that I like enough that I want to fully finish them up. I don't want to just get rid of them, so I like them at least a little bit, all of the ones that I currently have. So anyway, now let's actually get into it. So for number 11, I picked the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Foundation. Now I know that this is a holy grail for so many people, but I just didn't get the hype on this foundation. It breaks up on my skin. I crease pretty badly whenever I wear it. It just doesn't look that great on my skin. It sinks into my pores. I will say though, I like that it is full coverage, and I like that it doesn't wear away terribly on my nose, which a lot of foundations do, but I don't love this foundation and I definitely would not repurchase it. It's just kind of like meh for me. Alright, so number 10 is the Pure Lease Perfect Glow BB Cream. This has SPF 30 in it. This actually, when I just had a very, very small collection, was one of my favorite products. But now that I've kind of discovered more that I like more than this, it's just not all that great to me. It creases pretty badly on me, and I do look a little bit oily at the end of the day. This isn't a bad BB cream, but I definitely have like tinted moisturizers and things that I like better than it, so it's not my favorite. Alright, so number 9 is probably one that will surprise you if you have followed me on Instagram for a while. This is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. I actually wore this foundation when I was giving birth to my second son, and I wore it for like 15 hours, and I felt like it looked so nice on my skin. But then the past like 2 or 3 months, whenever I use this, it doesn't look great on me. I feel like it creases pretty badly and I look a little bit oily at the end of the day, even though this is like a super mattifying foundation. But I will say that I like how thin it is and how it doesn't feel cakey on the skin. It is basically like almost a full liquid, which I really like that about it. But for some reason, it's just not looking good on my skin anymore. I don't know if my preferences have changed or something, but yeah, it's just, this probably 6 months ago would have been in my top 5, but I just haven't been loving it. I think because I found foundations that I've liked more than this. So this is fine, but not a favorite. Alright, so number 8 is my Milk Makeup Flex Foundation Stick. This was sent to me through Influenster about a year ago. I have said multiple times, and I will continue to say, this is the best stick foundation that I have ever tried. I do not like stick foundations at all, but this one doesn't tug on my skin. It's pretty easy to blend out. But with that being said, it's still not a favorite. It's not something that I would go run out and repurchase as soon as I finish this one up. It's just an okay foundation. It looks fine on my skin, but it does crease quite a bit. I have a lot of problems with creasing, especially in my smile lines and in between my brows. And I do look a little bit oily at the end of the day. It's not a bad foundation, and it's really good for a stick foundation in my opinion, but it's just not a favorite. So number 7 is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk. I know that some people don't love this foundation. It's a very polarizing foundation. I've heard that some people have had like reactions when they've applied this foundation. I have not noticed that. It does have coconut milk in it, so I'm wondering if maybe that is what it is. I don't know. But I really like this foundation for more like light coverage days. I feel like it looks pretty nice on my skin. I do have combination skin, so my skin gets pretty oily, but I don't notice it getting super oily with this foundation. It is a dewy finish, so that's pretty surprising. But it's good, but I do have 2 other products that are similar to this that I like more because, again, it creases. And I don't love that. And I don't like sometimes how it looks on my skin. Sometimes it sits a little bit weird if I use like certain primers. So it's good, but not great. All right, so for number 6, I picked the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. This is a really nice foundation. I feel like this looks good on most people's skin. Like even if you have oily, combination, dry, I think you'd probably like this. The thing is that it's just not quite as good as some of the other foundations in my collection for me. It does crease on me, and it doesn't wear quite as long as some of the other foundations that I'm going to talk about later on. It's a good foundation though. I would potentially repurchase it, but I'm not 100% sure on that because I think that I'd like to get my foundation collection down a little bit, and I don't feel like I need 6 foundations in my collection. But I do like how hydrating it feels. It's really great for me during the winter months, and I like the shade range. And yeah, it's a good foundation, but again, just not, it didn't quite make the cut of my top 5. Okay, so number 5, this is the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. I love this product. It is so good. It looks so nice on the skin. I love that I can do this when I'm doing like quick makeup looks because I can just like pour it into my hand and then rub it around on my skin and it sinks in pretty easily into the skin. It looks as if, it looks like a your skin but better kind of a situation. It just looks so nice. I really have been enjoying this. This is a newer product in my collection, but it has topped the charts because it is so good. It does crease on me a little bit though, which is unfortunate, which is why it's not higher. And I do feel like it gets a little bit oily sometimes, or it looks a little bit oily on my skin sometimes, but not bad. So yeah, I love it, but it still didn't quite make like the top 3 cut, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good foundation. I would recommend it if you have been interested to try it out. Alright, number 4 is the Bare Minerals Original Liquid Mineral Foundation. This was also sent to me through Influencer a little bit more recently, and yeah, it has blown me away. It is a very good foundation. I haven't noticed that I have any creasing whatsoever on my skin, which is amazing. It doesn't sink into my pores, which I have some problems with that. It doesn't wear down badly on my skin. Actually, the first time that I wore this was on Christmas Day, and I wore it for about 15 hours, and when I went to go take off my makeup at the end of the day, I was expecting to look like a hot mess. It was Christmas, okay? You guys know how it is on Christmas. It's kind of chaotic, especially when you have little kids. But it looked just as good as when I first applied it. I really liked it. The only reason it is not in my like top 1 or 2 is just because there are a few foundations that I am absolutely obsessed with that I keep around. But this is one that when I finish it up, I will purchase it on my own because it's really nice. All right, number 3 is the Almay Say What Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. I love this foundation. It looks so nice on the skin. It does not break down on me whatsoever. I really don't notice any creasing. It is not as full coverage as some of the other foundations that are in my collection, which I kind of like. I don't need a super full coverage look. I'd rather it look like my skin but better, basically. This is a medium to full coverage, so don't get me wrong. You still have some coverage on your skin, but it looks just like your regular skin. It looks so nice. I absolutely love this, and it is something that I will probably repurchase forever. So good. All right, number 2 is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. So this and my number one, I was actually kind of going back and forth on, but I like coverage a little bit more, which is why this is number two. This is a very light coverage foundation. I mean, it's technically a tinted moisturizer, not a foundation, but you get what I mean. But it looks so good on my skin. I don't feel like my skin looks overly oily. It literally looks like my skin but better. I love this when I'm doing more natural makeup looks. It does not crease on me. I can set it or not set it. It doesn't matter. It just looks so good, and this is a product that has become a holy grail in my collection. I absolutely love it. It is so good, and I am so happy that I have it because it's incredible. All right, so number one is my holy grail foundation. I absolutely love it. It is perfect. It is perfect. It's everything that I could ever look for in a foundation, and that is the Beauty Bakery Insta Bake Aqua Glass Foundation. Guys, this is incredible. It is a medium to full coverage. Looks so nice on the skin. It doesn't crease. It doesn't budge throughout the day. It looks just as good as when you first applied it, but it looks like your skin. This foundation is chef's kiss. Like, it is incredible. I can't say enough good things about it. So I actually was doing a project pan all of last year, which is when I purchased this foundation. And so I was pretty much strictly just using the foundations that I was trying to finish up for the most part, and then like occasionally reaching for the other foundations in my collection. So I was being pretty strict about that. And yet I still was able to use this much of this foundation. I could not stop reaching for it in 2020. It is incredible, and it looks really good under a mask, so it's a little added bonus there for you. I just love it. I have nothing bad to say about this foundation. You can set it or not. It will look good on any skin type. If you have the oiliest skin or the driest skin, I think that you would probably like this, as long as you like a more medium to full coverage look. I typically wear it as like a medium coverage, but you can build it up to full coverage for sure. I love the shade range. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Can you guys tell that I love it? I don't know if you guys can tell, because like I'm being pretty casual about it. Like it's just fine. It's a fine foundation. It's not my favorite thing ever. But with that being said, either of these two foundations could have made the number one spot. It's just because the Beauty Bakery is more full coverage than the Colourpop Tinted Moisturizer. I love them both though. They will forever be in my collection. They've become staples. Whenever I am just trying to do a makeup look that I know will look great all day long, I always reach for these. They are they're the loves of my life. Sorry to my husband and my kids. Alright guys, sorry that I was a little bit extra in this video, but foundations are just something that I absolutely love. They're actually the main reason that I started getting into makeup, because I was trying to find like the perfect foundation. So I'm definitely in love with most of these guys. And again, if I said that your favorite foundation is like the lowest in my rankings, I still like all of these foundations, or else they wouldn't be here. And also, it's just personal preference. You might think that the Beauty Bakery foundation is the worst foundation you've ever tried. You'd be wrong. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But, you know, we all have different preferences, so take it with a grain of salt. But this was so much fun to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not already, please hit that like button and subscribe, and I will be back on in a few days with another video. Bye guys!